I walked in on my stepbrother and sister having intimacy and I left because I had no idea how to proceed. Now they pinned it all on me and told my mother that I was being inappropriate with her. I am my mother's only child. My mom married her now husband about 2 years ago, and with him came his 3 kids. I now have 2 brothers and a sister. I've always gotten along with them just fine. Nothing overly personal. It was basically like that group project in high school with people you aren't friends with but are still friendly. Anyway, today I was supposed to meet my college friend for lunch. I got to the place but at the last minute, he texted me saying his dog got into his M&M bowl and he needed to monitor him. I said okay and I drove back home. I walked into the house and started to make lunch. I even shouted to my step-siblings that I was making lunch and if they wanted anything. No reply. I started eating my sandwich when I heard this creaky sound. I didn't think too much of it because when our shower turns you can hear a similar sound for a few seconds down here. About an hour later I heard the same sound which worried me because being a college kid, an hour-long shower seemed foreign to me. I walked upstairs to make sure no one fell down or was hurt, and the shower wasn't running at all. I walked into my sister's room to make sure everyone was okay, and Jesus Christ, explaining it even made me want to vomit. I saw my stepbrother and sister fully having intimacy. I basically said in that voice you have when you have the chills, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ," and slammed the door shut. My brother quickly came out while I was running down the stairs and shouted, "Please tell no one." I didn't even look back. I got into my car and drove away to a bar, where I still am. On one hand this is absolutely disgusting to me, but on the other, I feel like it really isn't my business. I don't know if I should tell my mom and stepdad or if I just leave it alone. I don't know if it was a one-time thing or if they are in some gross sibling relationship. Either way I haven't answered either of their texts and I am sitting here grossed out. How do I proceed? Update. So, after I left the bar that night, I went to stay at a friend's house. I thought about what the hell I was going to do and decided that the best course of action was to not say anything to my parents yet, but to talk to my siblings individually first, and then together and see what was going on and if one or both of them needed help of any kind resolving the situation. Well, that was a nice plan. But it blew up in my face the next morning. I woke up to texts from my mom telling me to come home and that we needed to have a serious talk before my stepdad got home. I was hesitant to ask why or to give away any info that I had of my own as I didn't want to either A, make it seem like I knew anything she didn't, or B, turn on my stepbrother and sister if they hadn't turned on me. When I walked in the front door I was immediately stopped by my mom, who was sitting on the couch with my stepbrother and sister. My stepsister was crying into his shoulder. My mom asked me to sit down and I can't exactly remember everything she said word for word, but first, she asked me if I had anything to say for myself. I told her that I had no idea what she was asking me for. She took a deep breath and told me that when she got home last night, my stepsister confided in my mom woman to woman that I had been inappropriately touching her for several months, and that yesterday my stepbrother caught me and chased me out of the house. I was mortified and tried to explain the real situation, but it pretty much sounded like I was grasping at straws for an excuse. I explained the whole situation, to which my step-siblings took turns saying, "You're sick and how long it take you to come up with that? You're disgusting." I told my mom that I would never even think about doing something like this, that it was a disgusting assumption, and that she should believe me, her own son. She basically said that she wouldn't pick sides in such a delicate situation and that my stepdad would have to get involved. My stepsister instantly butted in and said, "No, please don't tell Daddy. He will just get angry and nothing will ever go back to the way it was." I just wanted to go back to the way it was and then continued to cry. I was sick to my stomach. I never used profanity around my mother, but I shouted to her, "If you honestly believe their poop over me, then you are no mother to me." She was obviously upset. I stormed up the stairs, grabbed some clothes, walked back out, and went back to my buddy's house. The next few days go by and my mom has been calling and texting saying that no one is going to tell your stepfather and that I don't want to jeopardize our family. No one else needs to know what happened. But in my head, I can't just agree to that and let it go. It would be admitting to something I did not do. Not to mention my mom would see me in a completely different way, a disgusting predator way if she doesn't already. I have gone home a couple of times since then, grabbed clothes and left. My buddy is fine with me staying for however long, although he has no idea of the situation. My stepfather remains clueless and I am pretty much stuck in this void until I figure out how to convince my mother that this didn't happen, or convince anyone that this didn't happen.